I don't really like Arkham's Astrolabe. I feel like the one thing, like, Legacy is super divided, and the players will, like, talk about a lot of things, and, like, you know, you'll have some players that are like, oh, Red and 6 is good, you know, good, we should keep it. Other players will be like, Red and 6 is bad, we should ban it. I feel like,
Boom.
Ooh, all right, well, you know what? It doesn't matter what my feelings are. We're going to transition to the game right now.
Yeah, speaking of 2019, another new Storm card, Echo of Eons.
Ah, okay. Well, all right. Here we are. 1 second. I'm also just gonna steal my Twitch chat back because I really can't do without you guys.
Yeah, Twitch chat, awesome.
Yeah.
Just ban miracles.
Oh God, Jax. Mods. All right. So
Mods asleep, ban miracles.
yeah, we'll try and catch up here. I'm gonna tell you a couple things already that are interesting to me. So
it looks like we went Duress, Veil. I don't know why we did we echo? It looks like we echoed.
We may have echoed. That makes a lot of sense.
So like Echo exiles itself, and then, you know, it just refills.
Yep.
But Max Carini, you know, passed the turn, it looks like, because we're back on Clifford.
Okay. So what's interesting here also is the inclusion of Riot of Flame. So maybe we're just trying to suss out what's going on
We do
here.
have a Burning Wish in Carini's hand.
Yeah. So I would even argue that this is the TES matchup on the left side.
And Defense Grid.
Okay.
And it looks like Chain of Vapor? What is that blue
Ooh.
card? Is that main deck Chain?
Yeah. That is actually... So... Sorry, I have to make sure that I put the periods in because my friend truly cares about the proper the Storm etiquette here. But Max is playing a variation of Storm, which is called the Epic Storm. Coined by Brian Cook himself. Brian has actually come up with this new list, which I guess people like calling TES version 8.5. And this is the version I was telling you about earlier, right? That has the main deck Veil of Summers and the main deck Defense Grids. And because you cut some of the discard spells, you get extra slots for things like Chain of Vapor, which is going to be good against, you know, just like problematic permanents like Thalia and things like that. Obviously not Chalice of the Void, but, Chain of Vapor is just Chain of Vapor. It's a great Storm card, especially when you're comboing off. You can, like, sack your lands to bounce your own spells and get more Storm, things like that.
So it looks like there's quite a battle going on. Carini did that, Echo of Eons, passed to Michael. Michael played Brainstorm Duress and some artifacts.
Yeah.
So with a Time Twister, neither player killed from the Time Twister.
Right. Which, is not completely unreasonable. As powerful as Ad Nauseam is, or the Storm decks are, I think there's like a common misconception that it consistently kills on turn 1. Having watched a lot of players, I feel like turn 2 is for TES maybe, an Ad Nauseam turn, and then turn 3 for Ad Nauseam Tendrils on the right side potentially. Yeah, we see Cabal Ritual in Michael Cliffy's hand, so I would narrow that down to...
Yeah, I think, are we just hunting for mana and then dead? Because we have Lion's Eye and Infernal Tutor with Cabal.
Yeah. Now, this is really interesting.
I think this is, I just have a billion mana, I can find whatever I need. Carini does have a Veil of Summer. He pondered into it.
Ooh.
So this is Threshold?
Yep, that's what the Lotus Petal gives you. Yep, 7 cards in the graveyard.
And okay. Players gonna play Yu-Gi-Oh! Sub-game of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Did you see the new basic lands that are coming out?
All
the memes, yeah.
Yes. Not Yu-Gi-Oh!
Pokemon,
Pokemon. Let's see. So this is Lion's Eye on the stack, it looks like.
Okay, interesting. So now what's interesting here for me, the reason I think it's interesting, also the round timer is kind of just doing its own thing right now. Don't worry about that, guys. We'll fix that later. But what's interesting for me is that if Max has something like Veil of Summer, when do you actually fire it off? Do you fire it off in response to the Tendrils? Do you fire it off, maybe a little bit earlier to sort of like dissuade Cliffy from doing anything?
Well, here's what happens whenever I play against Storm.
Yeah.
Does it even matter?
Hey, okay.
Like, Michael Clifford knows the card exists, and Carini kept with a Ponder and didn't kill him. So maybe he kept a kill that is...
Okay. Ooh. Wow, we're actually just using one card per mana floating.
Okay. I appreciate the effort.
Yeah, I get it though.
So we are tutoring, yeah. Okay. So this is not Ad Nauseam, we are tutoring.
Okay.
Likely likely. Is this Past in Flames enough?
Seems like Past in Flames. So I'm not 100%. The Storm is what, 4 right now? I'm assuming that's what the Thunder energy symbols are.
So what does Michael Clifford have main deck? What does Ant typically have that can beat a Veil of Summer?
Really good question. And I think the answer is, generally speaking, nothing.
Okay,
I mean, like...
So Duress, the jig is up.
Mm-hmm.
Carini is... Oh my god.
I mean...
Storm player is going to Storm.
Yeah, so Carini's going to go down to 18, and I think the reason that he's... I mean, so Veil of Summer, if it goes on the stack... when I say nothing, I mean, in general, the stock list generally doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
So that's why these Storm players have adapted. They have started including things like... like Empty the Warrens is in the main deck is always going to be an out. But then the Burning Wish line that I told you about earlier for Grape Shot is something that I think is also going to be pretty critical here. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, Veil of Summer is going to get... is going to draw a card here, and Duress can no longer target Max Carini because he has hexproof from black, so it's going to be removed from the stack. At least that's what MTGO tells me.
Yep, and all of his permanents too. It just gives you that lovely reminder on every single card.
Yeah, exactly, right? That's the one thing I don't like about Tomic.
Yeah.
It just gives all your lands like horrendous blue text, and I'm just like, even if I played basic lands... Wait, so here's the... Wow, Cliffy's still going off.
Well, he can still go off because he has Ponder Brainstorm.
Okay.
And I mean, what else is he doing? He has 2 mana. Like he can't Past in Flames next turn.
Mm-hmm.
So might as well pretend like you have something. I don't know.
Maybe it's not a pretense. I mean, if he's going off, you wouldn't go off unless you actually had outs. Or I assume Cliffy, has something. So we'll see. We're using all of our floating black mana for an ad nauseum. So I really want to see what kind of innovation Cliffy's got here. This is the rules question that I want to ask, though. So ad nauseum is going to flip a bunch of cards over here. I kind of want to say like A every time.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so refill for next turn.
That is true.
That's the plan.
The value ad nauseum. That's all. That yeah.
Like opportunity +1 card. Opportunities 4 cards. What's a draw 5? Is there any draw 5s?
Is there a draw 5? Sphinx's Revelation for 5. I don't know.
That's another X card. So
yeah.
It's a draw, 20 sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe the way that he's stopping here implies that he doesn't have an out to this Veil of Summer.
Well, and this, I mean, ritual. Yeah, and all you need to do is find a Lion's Eye.
Mm-hmm.
And then this could be a kill next turn.
I see it.
So this looks like a... Wait. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, just double checking. Yep, cards are still in the order.
Yep. And with a deck like Storm, you always have to make sure you cannot miss. Like, I feel like people will say like Miracles is a really hard deck to play, but this deck Storm, any Storm variation is just so much infinitely more difficult to play, just because like you get punished for even more nuanced things than like a deck like Miracles can, right? Like this deck is so precise, and there's so many ways to disrupt it that you always have to be prepared for everything. So,
Max, being a very kind gentleman, reminding Clifford, you have a floating blue mana.
Nice. Okay.
All right, so now he's brainstorming, so picking out the cards.
Yep.
And Tendrils would be great.
Would be very good here. Now that's really cool. Natural Tendrils means that you. I don't know how that really changes the...
Cannot natural tendrils next turn because you don't nearly have enough Storm.
Okay.
Max is at 19.
Yeah, there's a Past in Flames in the graveyard, so maybe
True.
if we can leverage an LED...
Well, yeah, we pondered into the LED, so we already have one.
Yeah. And I like that Cliffy is playing the LED out. That's just... maybe it's less necessary in this matchup, just...
No, I mean... There could be a discard card.
Right, you never know, exactly. And that's the reason to play it out, to hedge for discard.
Max may have... adjusted and played 1 copy of Duress this morning, and
you never know exactly.
I think if there's a type of player that's constantly changing their deck, it's Storm players.
Yeah. I mean, especially these two, right? Master of the craft. Part of that is you have to be able to adapt. You are one of the innovators of the format. So, I mean,
So shields down. There has been 7 turns, including this turn of this game of this Storm game 1. Let's see if someone can die.
Yeah. And this Veil of Summer sub game is just so interesting. So we see...
Do we have a kill?
Burning Wish, Rite of Flame. the Chain of Vapor,
So Burning Wish, Rite of Flame, Lion's Eye, land.
and a defense grid.
I mean, we could Burning Wish unless the Echo is from the sideboard. We could Burning Wish for Time Twister.
I think the Echo might be from the sideboard, something like a LED Echo hand, or with the Burning. No, there's no Burning Wish exiled, so maybe there's like one main deck Echo. That doesn't sound totally incorrect to me. That you can Wish Claw for. That makes sense, actually. Yeah. Okay, so we're getting a Volcanic Island here.
So do we just Time Twister?
Maybe.
Michael sculpted his hand, and he
Yeah,
he brainstormed,
oh.
pondered, preordained. He likely has a kill.
Time Twister seems really good. Get rid of that Past in Flames. That is almost deterministically going to kill you.
Get rid of Past in Flames as well.
Almost deterministically is still non-deterministically, right? Yeah.
Is that Is almost deterministic? Is that more or less than non-deterministic?
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go. Storm count 1.
Oh, where are energy?
There. Yeah.
Energy.
So yeah, 2 Rite of Flame, and you know what's really interesting? I feel like Brian actually is only playing 3 copies of Rite of Flame in his main deck, which is like a really weird number to think about. I trust the masters of their craft.
3 copies of Rite of Flame, you said?
Yeah. Like whatever his reasoning is,
Interesting.
But yeah. All right, so we're playing the defense grid out here to.
Sure.
Honestly, this defense grid kind of scares me. I mean, like 2 mana is a lot.
Oh, the defense grid is only 1 mana because it turns on Mox Opal.
Ah, there you go. Okay. So here, and this is the Chain of Vapor trick we were talking about. So likely we're gonna bounce some of our own spells.
I love it when Storm players do the math for their opponent and they're like, "Oh yeah, you got it. I'm dead."
Okay, and so it's like a burning. Oh, because he's at 11, right?
Yeah. So this is bounce a couple of my permanents.
Play them back.
Yeah, I think it's just bounce Lion's Eye, Mox Opal, and then so 1. Did we play Lion's Eye this turn?
We
One,
did.
2,
Yeah.
3, 4. So Storm should be at 4, 5, 6, and then
That's plenty already. Yeah.
And
then Burning Wish for Tendrils.
We have. We do have mana. Oh, Burning Wish, and then sack
LED
Lion's Eye.
on the stack. Yeah, exactly.
Turn it into Lotus.
Right. So it looks like Max Carini is going to take game number 1, and I mean, honestly, you kind of expect it, right? With the way this TES deck is built, it is built to smash these blue decks.
Veil of Summer feels like the trump.
And
one player has it, one player doesn't. So.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever just think about this? Like, let's take a step back and think about what happened. Cliffy played Ad Nauseam. Ad Nauseam resolves, and Cliffy pays life and says, you know what? I'm going to stop with 11 life left as a Storm play. So many things are just like wrong about this statement, and that just tells you like how warping Veil of Summer actually is in this kind of matchup.
So I it's pretty early. I don't want to go there already.
Uh-oh.
Are we going to talk about the B word?
Oh gosh! Oh no!
Are we gonna talk about the B word?
I mean, we can't. Here, what I will say. Here's one thing, and we have the whole day, so we'll probably talk about this multiple times. Like, let's be honest here. Let's talk about the philosophy of bans, right? So, I am not a mega fan of bans. When you ban a card, that says a lot, right? That says a lot about just design in general, and I really want to focus less on banning cards and finding ways to beat cards. Now, WotC obviously has master data, and so when they see data and they see some red flags, sometimes you have to act. But I really do feel like personally, fewer bans are good. I think there's a lot of recent action in Magic, with the Pioneer format being introduced with weekly bans, and then there's just been a lot of positive reception to criticism by WotC, which is a great thing, but we shouldn't get carried away with that kind of thing. So I'm not 100% sure. I don't have the data. I can't see the full picture, right? So maybe certain cards can be just ban hammered away or whatever. But I mean, I'd rather give it time. You know what I mean?
I do think that especially Legacy, it's not played at such a fast clip as Pioneer or Modern or Standard.
Yep.
Where just thousands and thousands of games and reps and people just hammering out and kind of quote unquote solving certain things. So I think Legacy has more room in that area to breathe and kind of figure out, hey, let's give this a while. figure out if there's a new play pattern that can sort of put a stop to certain issues that we don't like. I'll bring up this idea. I think bans in themselves, I think we're really afraid of them.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Uh-huh.
I think we've seen more bans this year.
Oh yeah.
In not just Legacy, but in Magic in general.
Yep.
And I think as a mindset, bans are Wizards communicating to the community, hey,
We messed up.
maybe not we messed up.
Okay.
But we hear your feedback.
Okay.
You guys are telling us you don't like this format because of this card, and then this is us telling you, hey, we are listening.
Yeah.
And
I feel like
I think if there was just sort of more emphasis on that communication of like, this is our job, this is our responsibility, Wizards, whoever like makes the final check mark on doing this ban. I think if there was just like more communication on, hey, what do you guys want? What are you expecting?
Yeah.
Because I think as it is, everyone kind of like lives in fear of the ban.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of like that dirty word.
Yeah,
It's
exactly,
like,
exactly. It's like the
you want to bring
you
up
never
the-
want
you
to
wanna-
say
you
because
wanna-
you know it's good. It's controversial. I absolutely understand. I do want to say like major shout out to Watsy for just like like listening when we went for so many years with like a very like static format, and then suddenly one day like Sensei's Divining Top is banned.
You know what? It caught me off guard.
Me too.
I didn't think they were going to do it.
Me too. I literally was talking to my friend, and I was just like, look, I agree. Miracles is overpowered right now. Top is an absurd card, but Watsy's never going to ban it. They don't ban cards in Legacy.
Yeah, I felt like they were not paying attention to Legacy.
Yeah.
And
that was a good wake-up call.
And that was them communicating, we are paying attention.
We see you.
We're listening to you.
Yeah. All right.
Ooh, Hope of Garapor.
That's an interesting one. Yeah.
Ooh, sends it back. I don't like that artifact.
Twitch chat, let me know what you guys think about this too. I mean, we've probably talked enough about it, but I'm curious for your thoughts as well. Looks like Max Carini is going to take a mulligan to 6.
Yeah, first mulligan. What we can talk about mulligans. How do you like the new mulligan rule?
I'm kind of a fan. I mean, a lot of people have had mixed results. They say like it homogenizes the format, but I feel like in Legacy at least it helps the non-blue decks get a little bit better. Some of the combo decks get a little bit better. I mean, you get to play Magic, I think, right? And that's for me the most important part.
I think. Yeah, my only issue. Ooh, do we have mana? Do we have
a base?
mana?
Ooh.
No. Mulligan, second mulligan.
Yeah, I saw the Veil of Summer. I was like, that's if you do mulligan, that's what you mulligan towards a Veil of Summer. But you got to get your basics.
I think so. You see what Cliffy's doing? He's putting that dice down of how many cards Max is going to keep. This is my only issue with doing this mulligan.
Yeah,
is just the logistics of it.
Oh yeah.
My opponent goes back to 7, and then I ask them, wait, what mulligan are you on?
Yeah,
Are
exactly.
you on 6 or 5?
For
and
me-
then they're like trying to figure out and put cards back.
Yeah.
And it's kind of worse on Magic Online.
Oh, miserable. I mean, the first time
Because you're just like, wait,
it says 7.
they're at 7. Oh. Oh.
Yeah. All right, what do we got here? Double Wish Claw, a Lotus
Wish
Petal.
Claw. Ugh.
Is that triple Wish Claw?
I think it's keepable. We have a
Oh, it's a Misty Rainforest. Never mind. Okay. I mean, I don't hate this.
Turn 1, Wish Claw.
Yeah, I don't know. You can like get Veil of Summer or something.
Turn 2, Veil. Oh.
Okay.
Oof.
Nope.
Oof.
Just Cliffy with the brutal. I don't. You mulled a 5. How about a mulled a 4? Let's get it. I mean, here, I guess you just take a Wish Claw, right? Yeah. I mean, the Lotus Petal is whatever.
Well, I mean, here's the thing about playing against Storm and playing with Storm. You always have to question everything.
Yeah. Am I dead?
Why wouldn't you take Lotus Petal here?
Yeah.
What does the second Wish Claw do?
I mean, it's technically still
Lotus Petal
some
is
sort of tutor.
is a quote unquote unique effect in his hand. It's fast mana.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, why?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, maybe it's just like an action spell, and Cliffy's like, let's prioritize getting rid of those. But you see, like Max is gonna. You think about this question, you're like, is it correct to sacrifice my Lotus Petal, get the Wishclaw Talisman into play? And I actually like this play by Max. Makes a little bit of sense because you don't want the second one to get discarded, so you might as well just dump all your cards on the board. Say your discard spells do nothing now.
Yeah, it's interesting because he has that Mox Opal. He wants Metalcraft. If he activates the Wish Claw, he loses his artifact.
Yeah, that's true.
So his artifact count, I don't know if there's one good card off the top for Max. I think he has a fetch land, so Veil of Summer is the only card, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that,
maybe like an LED that's like back-to-back LEDs would be pretty good. You can make like there's maybe like an ad nauseum line somewhere in there.
LED off the top is Echo. Okay, we can Echo.
That is true. So LED is pretty good. Now what's interesting here is that Cliffy actually has a copy of Veil of Summer in his hand. I'm not gonna lie, I actually think Veil of Summer is really bad in this matchup from the ad nauseum side because there's no discard. You're basically only protecting yourself from tendrils. Now, correct me where I'm wrong, but and TES is definitely the deck that can very easily ad nauseum into Burning Wish into Grape Shot for lethal.
Yeah.
Like the number of times my grapes have been shot is just way over 20. So this is gonna be a slow game for Max for sure. I mean,
I know it's pretty early, but let's not talk about your grapes right now.
yeah.
LED is Adnaz. Does Max play Adnaz?
Yeah. Max definitely has to have ad nauseum in his deck. Because it's kind of interesting, right? Because ad nauseum tendrils is almost like a misnomer of a name. I kind of feel like it should be like Past and Flame tendrils, whereas TES has always been more centered around like Infernal Tutor for ad nauseum. And why am I? Oh wait. So Cliffy is saying,
Infernal
but
tutoring for more
mana.
More
Okay.
mana.
Okay.
More mana.
Right.
Mana. More mana.
So I'm gonna use my mana to mana. I heard you like mana, so we got mana in your. Okay, this is a bad joke. I apologize. This is the first apology. I promise there'll be a lot more.
So we are up to 3.
Okay.
So that one adds 3, so we're up to 6.
And then ad nauseum.
And
okay.
ad nauseum floating 1.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And
I'm gonna pass off some sweet intel to Max later. He should color code his energy tokens so that it's easier to.
I assume because they're pink, I assume they're all Michaels.
Okay. Oh, maybe. I'll pass it off to Michael, the Cliffy then. Yeah. All right. So, A.
1.
This is actually
2,
pretty good.
3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And Stormers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
8.
What is that? Is that a?
Past and Flames.
Okay, that's Past and Flames.
10, 11, 12. We're at 12.
Yeah.
So we're at 7 life.
Yeah, I mean, you keep going. It's free. Oh, there.
13.
That's a big reveal.
Ooh.
Not even because like it helps kill or anything like that.
14.
We don't have an LED, do we?
Nope.
Do we even have an Infernal Tutor? I missed it. If we
We have 1 Infernal. Yep.
Okay.
15.
Okay.
So we go down to 4, I believe.
All right.
Storm players help us. Just life totals.
Yeah. If I'm completely honest, I don't think Cliffy needs to do any more work here. With the Flusterstorm in your hand, things are looking pretty good.
Flusterstorm and Veil, so we can dump some Lotus Petals and just infinite protect.
Yeah.
But it doesn't protect against. Will this protect against a Lion's Eye for Echo?
See, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there'd be 3. So 1, 2. So technically, you could like use Veil of Summer to build some Storm, and then use like a Flusterstorm that way. I'm not actually going to go through the numbers and try and figure that out. I'll let them do it.
Yeah,
but
I don't think anyone goes through the numbers when they actually cast Flusterstorm.
Yeah. Or you can even you have Brainstorm in your head, so like it's completely fine.
Ooh, we're pondering. So yeah,
Okay.
we're still going.
That makes sense. So I mean, this way, if we find an LED, natural tendrils, but do we have the mana for it? We have 1 floating in Lotus Petal. Do we have Dark Ritual?
We have a Dark Ritual down at the bottom.
Wait, that's so hot. Cliffy, did you do it? Show it to me. Yep, Dark Ritual. Boom. All right.
Tendrils target you.
Max is like, what's your target? Storm triggers? And Cliffy's like, yeah, I've been through this one before. Bam, bam. All right, so looks like the games are
That's the one thing about playing against Storm is, they can't really miss their trigger because there's nothing that happens after that.
Yeah.
They're just like, no, this kills you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's like a judging thing too. Like I've heard it happen before, and like the judges always say like, no, the storm trigger happens and you die and things like that. Max,
Like, you can definitely miss other triggers, but that's because things happen after that. There's like game actions that happen.
okay,
But typically, no one's gonna make a game action when there's like tendrils
right,
waiting to be resolved.
Yeah. So Viverus in the chat is saying that Max probably didn't have Veil because they didn't use it in response to the ad nauseum. So I want a reason for that. I want to know why, because that's kind of interesting to me.
So that would protect your Veil against Flusterstorm, which
Oh, okay.
Michael drew. So like if he drew just straight nuts and had Fluster backup,
Yeah.
then your Veil is actually dead.
And
so
you can-
cast it in response to.
That's one good example. Yeah.
And as we saw in game 1, game 2 is different than game 1, but game 1 Veil iced Michael.
Yeah.
Flat out.
Yeah.
This resolved. Michael had to pass the turn.
So then Cliffy does have to have the Flusterstorms in, because if you can't combat the Veil of
Well,
Summer,
I'm sure he probably has goblins now.
Okay. Yeah. As an out, yeah, just like put 21 goblins or some absurd amount, and
I don't know how you get an odd number of goblins.
yes, that is a very good point.
maybe he's also bringing in Cabal Therapy and he sacks a goblin.
Oh man, I do not miss Cabal Therapy out of these Storm decks. I'll tell you that much. My God, Gataxian Probe, thank you for leaving. Cabal Therapy and that card.
You know what? That was the one thing that I did like about playing against Storm.
Yeah.
Is Cabal Therapying them. And then and they brainstorm. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
I need to be really good right now.
Yeah, that's
If I'm bad at Magic, I lose this game.
my favorite matchup is actually the Miracles versus Storm matchup, because there's just so much play. All right, what are we looking at?
Holy moly, we have a bunch of artifacts. We're like an Affinity deck.
That's okay. So I think Max is keeping. We have a land and a Ponder and a bunch of artifacts. Oh, and a Wishclaw Talisman. Is that the first card?
No, that's a Misty.
I can't tell. Oh man, we'll find out.
So I think he has 2 lands. Max's hand looks nuts. Has been called.
Oh, is that Dr. Cook himself? MTG the Epic Storm. Nice.
Is that a Wishclaw?
I think it might be a Wishclaw, and this could.
If it's Wishclaw, it's turn 1 Time Twist.
I think we could. Can we dream a little bit bigger? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
I like
me neither.
I don't know. What?
Oh, okay. Look at Cliffy's like, what? Oh gosh, a little bit of a take back here, but yeah, I mean, maybe if you untap, you get 2 extra mana, and then it's probably just ad nauseum for lethal, right? Yeah, you're short. You're 1 mana short right now from ad nauseum. All right. Oh no! Wait.
Like I said, Affinity deck.
Yeah. There's an LED, and that's really good. And Cliffy also has another LED in his hand. This could be just equally as an explosive a turn. Okay, so we're looking at LED, Lotus Petal, pass.
Do we have a Fluster off that pedal?
I don't know. So we definitely did not see a Flusterstorm in the Ponder, right? And perhaps Cliffy was just supposed to shuffle it if he didn't have the Flusterstorm, but he could also just be bluffing here, because remember I told you, right? Storm players are precise to the nth level of detail.
Well, here's a question for you. Well, actually, I know the answer to this question. But why would Cliffy keep a 7-card hand if he didn't have some play, some interaction? Is he just hoping for he can get to turn 2?
I'll let you answer this question, because
I know the answer because I've heard it out of Cliffy's mouth.
Oh yeah?
Storm players have this rule.
Oh yeah.
You know the rule?
I think I do.
You do know the rule?
I have a variation of the rule, but yeah, go ahead.
So if you have 2 Lion's Eye Diamonds, you keep your hand.
Okay.
Just 2 Lion's Eye keep.
Okay, my variation's a little bit more generic. And this,
what's your variation?
My rule, and it's my number 1 rule with Miracles 2 and Legacy. Mm-hmm. Never mulligan.
Oh, never mulligan,
just never mulligan. I've seen the kind of hands that Cyrus and Cliffy keep, and they're just straight up abominable. And the thing is, I keep hands like that are just as bad with Miracles, and so I empathize. You know what I mean? Are we looking at the deck lists here?
Yeah. So here are the 2 on screen.
Beautiful.
Meanwhile,
Chat, ask me your questions. What do you want to know?
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have nonsense going on.
Mm-hmm.
Game of Pokemon being played.
That's what's up.
So we have cast a Dark Ritual.
Ooh, okay, that's interesting. So I guess we could deduce from the Bayou in Max's deck that he's got a Well, his sideboard is pretty interesting here. There's an Abrupt Decay, Grape Shot, 2 Hope of Garipors, 3 Infernal Tutors in the sideboard. That is
because sometimes you need to tutor for tutor.
okay. I could see
red
it.
tutor for black tutor.
Yeah, or maybe you just transform into like a different variation. Yeah, I mean, Storm Guru's in the chat. Why would you play 3 Infernal Tutor in the sideboard? Explain this one to me. And there are 4 Empty the Warrens as well in the sideboard. That is so cool.
4?
Yeah, it's really good against Delver, so I've heard. Because Delver just like, it's just, I think Delver is a little bit better against TES than it is against Ad Nauseam Tendrils. I might be wrong, but Empty the Warrens does a lot to pick up slack in that matchup, so pretty excited about that. But let's see, what's going on here? We got combos on combos on combos, so...
We activated our 1-mana Demonic Tutor.
It's pretty powerful, and there it is.
Yeah, it is a Demonic Tutor. We do not have to show.
Yes. I wonder what card this is that...
Yeah. Pass the turn, and Cliffy's like, huh, interesting.
Wow. MTG The Epic Storm says, none ya business. That's why we're playing triple Infernal Tutor. I love it. That's the pinnacle of innovation right there. I like it. Oh, man. I heard the best... I heard peak comedy the other day. My wife told me, she said, why'd the chicken cross the road?
Oh, I don't know why.
To get to the stupid person's house.
Ouch.
Yeah. So then she said to me, knock, knock, and I said, who's there? And then 10 seconds later, I got it.
Ooh.
I'm the idiot. All right, anyways. Sorry, and I explained the joke, too. That's how you know. All right, so Ad Nauseam, firing off here. We see Brainstorm, Veil, some lands.
So we're at 2 damage so far. Still
Very,
2.
very meticulous flipping.
3.
I like it.
4, 5.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you something. TES is such a good Ad Nauseam deck. Your
6.
average CMC is so low that, like...
7.
I don't remember the last time I saw an Ad Nauseam fail from this deck.
Ooh, Lion's Eyes. Oh my god. 8. 9. 10. What are we hoping for? Are we hoping for a tutor?
I mean, honestly,
Tutor? Yeah, tutor.
Okay.
Do we have enough mana to cast our tutor? Probably with our zeros.
I'd be so surprised if we don't.
That definitely should do it. Because now we can get any sideboard card, and we have double Lion's Eye.
Okay.
And we have a Rite of Flame to ritual this out.
Gotcha. And I mean, Max knows how to dodge and swerve. I don't think he's going to mess up a lethal execution here. So let's see. Let's see how Max chooses to flex here. I mean, if we have Storm Pilots in the chat, what is the most damage that you have ever done with this is a 2-part question, so you better be ready with your homework. The first is, what is the most damage you've ever done with the Tendrils of Agony? And then what is the most damage you've ever done with a Grape Shot? And concessions don't count, by the way. Your opponent has to let you do it.
Yeah, they have to... I think, I don't know. Oftentimes, Storm Pilots don't go for infinite.
The showboating? Yeah.
I mean...
Oh, apparently 69 is the mathematical limit to how much you can actually acquire here, so I guess that question's been answered. Much appreciated.
I definitely have run up the score with some Craterhoof math.
Wait, so another Storm Pilot from a different country, a different planet, says 100, but with no infinite loop. I have a feeling that this is a stupid high tide joke. All right, you get what I'm trying to say here. I'm high tide. Okay, yes. Laugh. I tell you to laugh. All right. All right, so what are we doing here? We're kind of just doing our own thing. So
side question, is high tide good if you play Veil of Summer?
So Truckus123 in the chat is actually my high tide go-to. You know, whenever I say I want to see something steamy, he'll send me like high tide pictures, like of stacks that just go off the screen on Magic Online, right? Like, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant here. I see modern players laughing at Force of Negation and then Veil and the Spell Pierce on the stack and things like that, and I'm just like, wait till you see Flusterstorm for 33 when there's so many copies that your client shuts down online. But yeah, no, I think High Tide, like, he showed me a list that had main deck Veil of Summers, and actually, check this out, Growth Spiral, too. That was pretty sweet.
I like that.
Yeah, get more islands into play a little bit
I like
faster. Yeah. kind of, it's very, very elegant. So let's see. And now here, there's a Veil of Summer because why not? I can't tell if those cards, you know, that's probably Max's hand on the bottom there. Right? They're not definitely not in play. Okay. Is this really not deterministic? I feel like okay. Well, there's the Dark Ritual.
I think he's.
Oh, that was a brainstorm. Okay, the brainstorm where my hand is so big and you're so dead that I don't even have to play it like mechanically correctly. You'll just like see all these cards and just like lose. Okay.
He's running up the storm. Yeah.
Yeah, and I see like Max here is like very, very, very careful and precise and like.
I think he is trying to play around Veil, which doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But if you can play around it, why not?
Right, and so Storm is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's a little bit of a ways to go to play around Veil of Summer here, if we want to get to the Burning Wish / Grape Shot and all that sort of good stuff. And I mean, who knows how many treasures are even in Max's hand right now? Oh yeah, I saw that clip of Jordan. I take blame. I'm a hooligan. That is me. That's my middle name, actually.
Ooh, Savine's Reclamation.
Ah, that's
Are you a fan of that card?
I love that card. That is like my okay. I had a friend. I asked, is it good or was asked actually if it's good or if it's a pet card. And the unanimous vote was that it was just my pet card. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Nothing like a white.
Interesting pause.
Oko. yeah, sorry. Oko, yeah. That you could get for your graveyard. Okay, excellent. Yeah, I was supposed to record these actually, because I would love to have like Cliffy come by and like, or even Max come by and talk to me about things like. Yeah, we could actually do that after if we have enough time. We can talk about the matchup and some of the intricacies and find out what exactly how a Storm player thinks.
So I'm just browsing what decks we have out there.
Mm-hmm.
We have some elves.
Ooh, okay.
We have goblins.
Okay, all right.
We have some Okos.
Oh God.
I
see Dark Depth.
Yeah, we have a Dark Depth.
I like how he's like a little bit less excited about that chat. You hear that? He's just like, oh, we've got Dark Depth.
We've got Dark Depths.
Yeah.
And this Dark Depths is not of this world.
Ooh, all right.
Bone
Crusher Giant.
Yeah, we got some red stuff. We got some Blood Moons.
I opened one of those pretty Bone Crusher Giants last night. It was pretty nice. Also, if for anyone who is still keeping track of what's going on here, props to you.
I have checked out.
We are 3 hours into this surgery, and honestly, like only the chief surgeon is the one who is aware of what is going. Even Cliffy is just like chilling. He's just like, "What you got?" You know. In fact, there's so many energy tokens that I don't even know what the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we're almost there. 18.
So we have another TES deck list in here.
Okay.
So
okay.
We got some.
Does that one also have 3 Infernal Tutors?
It has 1 Infernal on the side.
Okay, gotcha.
1 Crash.
4
Empty.
Okay.
1 Pulverize.
The tech spreads fast and far. All right, and it looks like Max Carini is going to collect the handshake here. After an unfortunate mulligan to 5 in game 2, Max does rally back, and he is now going to be 1-0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transition back to us. And so here's a question for you guys, chat. What do you guys want to see?
Yes. What do you want to see? And we will look for it. We'll try and target it.
Yes, we will. I will hunt. We will.